Hi, I'm Reva with Quality Sewing and Vacuum, and today I'd like to share with you my favorite scissors. Now, my favorite scissors of all time are Kai scissors. They are very precise, they're smooth, they're not heavy, they feel good in your hand, and they just do a terrific job. Come on in a little closer. Don't be shy. I won't sing the rest of the commercial. Okay, so the first pair I want to show you is the Kai 7230. This is a 9-inch dressmaker shear. And what that means is, now, when you're cutting, see how the handle bends up? This is meant to cut out fabric on a cutting mat and cut out fabric and patterns. Okay, so that's why it has the bent handle. Now, these are so smooth. They're like smooth as silk, and they cut all the way to the tip. So I want to invite you, at least if you've never touched a pair of Kai scissors, come in and just feel how fabulous these are, because oh my goodness, it's just like butter. It's just so fabulous. There's lots of different versions of dressmaker shears in the Kai line, and they're all great. This one just happens to be in their professional series, and you just cannot beat the blades. They're so wonderful. Okay, the next one that you're going to need to have, again, you notice it has a bent handle, so it's good for cutting out fabric while it's on a tabletop. And this is a pinking shear. So if you can see, it has zigzags there, and what that is designed for is that when you cut your fabric, it's going to give you a zigzag edge. Did you notice that I was able to cut the whole way, all the way to the tip with pinking shears? How many of you have pinking shears that you go because they just don't want to cut? These are about as smooth as you can ever get with getting zigzags to coordinate together. So they're wonderful. But let me tell you why you want those. If you're working with a fabric that is woven like a regular cotton, the edges will fray and pull off. See how that pulls off? It won't happen if you've used pinking shears. So it's a good way to finish your fabrics and to have a nice clean finished edge, even on crafting projects. That way, if you're doing like a tote bag, you won't have hairs all inside your tote bag. So that's another must-have pair of scissors. You'll probably see a theme. These are just general scissors that every sewing room should have. Now, if you visit my sewing room, I have a lot more of Kai scissors than just this, but this is why. Now, this is another pair. These are called Patchwork scissors. And this number for this particular pair is the N3160 SE. You don't have to remember that. We'll have it linked in the video below. But this pair has the little sheath cover, so it protects them. So they're great to take to classes, or just when you put them away, it keeps them protected. But these have a serrated edge. That's what the SE stands for. Now, these are great if you're working with fussy cutting. So for example, if this was a printed fabric and I wanted to cut out a flower, I would be cutting, and the serration grips on, so then you can reposition your hands and get a good cut. So they're great for fussy cutting. I use them a lot for trimming the dog ears off of quilt blocks, or when I'm sewing them together. They're also really great for fabrics that are slippery, or knit fabrics, things that when you go to cut them, they want to smoosh out away from the cutting surface of the blade. You've probably been frustrated with that in the past with fabrics that just won't stay in place. And so this helps with that. And they have this wonderful gushy handle, so they don't injure, they don't give you bruises or blisters. I had a beautiful pair of German scissors that they were so heavy that the metal would give me blisters on my thumb, and you won't find that with Kai. Okay, now I'm going to skip this pair. I'm going to come back to it. This pair is really awesome. This is the double curved embroidery scissor with a blunt tip. So I have a pair that's open right here I want to show you. So this has the double curve to it, so that way if you're doing machine embroidery in the hoop, you can get into the hoop and trim those needles, because you have the edge of the hoop and it's hard to get a flat pair of scissors down in there. So this will just kind of easily go in so you can trim your threads. but it has a blunt tip. And you'll know that you have a blunt tip one because it has the yellow sticker that says blunt tip. And the good thing about having a blunt tip on your scissors like this is that when you go in to trim that little thread, the tip of the scissor won't get stuck in the fabric or the other threads and accidentally cut something you don't want to cut. So that is what's great about those. Then we have these great little thread snips. Now these are really handy to have by your machine because all you have to do is pick them up and snip. You don't have to get both fingers comfortably into the handle. This is for the quick snip of thread. So this is just really handy just to have by your sewing machine ready to go. And it does come with this little protective cover, but I'll tell you, I don't have mine anymore and I don't care because I just pick this up and clip, clip. All right. Then this is my all-time favorite Kai scissor. It's the 5135C because it has a curved edge to it. Do you see that? I love this scissor. It has a 5-inch blade, but what I like about it is it's solid, it's strong. So if I'm doing in the hoop projects with applique, with batting and fabric, or I need to trim the corners off of a bag before I turn it, this is a very strong blade. They come in straight too, but the curve is great because if you're doing any applique of trimming fabric in the hoop, you've got that curve so you can get the blade down there and your hand stays up. You don't have to try to be flat and one with the fabric. So that's why I love the curve. So I have several pairs of these. I love them so much I keep buying them. You know, I don't know, do you do the same thing? Don't realize how many pairs of something you have until you clean? Wow. Anyhow, so those are my favorite scissors. So just as a review, this is a 9-inch dressmaker shear. Everybody needs that to cut out fabric, whether you're doing crafty projects or not. Then we have the pinking shears. These are fabulous for making those edges not ravel. The Patchwork scissors are serrated, so they're going to grip onto the fabric and let you do precise fussy cutting or cut little dog ears off or cut fussy fabrics. My favorite, the curved smooth blade. These are great for doing applique in the hoop. We've got our quick little snippies right here. And then we have the double curve embroidery scissors that have the blunt tip. So find yourself a good set of scissors that you can have as your arsenal of cutting tools, and you are going to have much more fun making your next projects.